Hello my friends, in this video I'm sharing some of the most loved Turkish street foods. And showing you how you can easily make them at home. From crispy simit and spicy lahmacun to hand-rolled gözleme, quick ÇİİKÖFTE, juicy döner, plus a brand new kumpir recipe that's perfect baked in one dish. Whether you have tried these dishes before or are discovering for the first time, I hope this video inspires you to cook something new and delicious. Let's get started. Early in the morning in Istanbul, one of the first things that comes to mind outside is hearing that familiar call. This is Simit, Turkey's everyday companion, crispy golden brown and blanketed in sesame seeds. Whether it's a chilly winter day by the Bosphorus or a sunny afternoon shared with family, Simit is perfect in every season. And of course, it's always fun to share a few bites with the seagulls too. Now here is how you can make it at home. To start, I prepare a yeast mixture using fresh or dry yeast, a little sugar, and optionally some milk and oil. Once it bubbles up, I add the flour and knead it into a soft, elastic dough. After rising, the dough is divided into balls and shaped into its signature twisted rings. You can find the full recipe and other details in the link below, but the real secret lies in the coating. Each ring is dipped into molasses water mixture, then rolled generously in sesame seeds. Baked until golden, these simits come out perfectly crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, just like the ones from the street, only hotter and fresher at home. Since you are making it at home, you can serve it simply with some cheese, olives, tomatoes and cucumbers, and of course a glass of Turkish tea. And if you want to take it a step further, I even have a fun egg recipe using simit. You can check that out in the links below. Lahmacun is one of the most iconic street foods in Turkey, especially in the southeast like Gaziantep and Şanlıurfa. It's often compared to pizza, but lahmacun is much thinner, crispier and more boldly spiced. At its core, it's a very thin layer of dough topped with a flavorful mixture of ground beef, vegetables and spices. Traditionally, it's baked in a wood-fired oven and served hot, so it stays perfectly crisp and light. Even though I always like to browse the menu at a good lokanta, I usually end up ordering lahmacun. It's just one of my favorite foods to eat outside. When I make it at home, I prepare the topping by mixing ground beef and lamb with finely chopped tomatoes and peppers in the food processor. Then I add spices like chili flakes, pul biber and smoked isot pepper for depth. Next, I roll out the dough as thin as possible, just like they do in lahmacun bakeries, and spread the topping evenly all the way to the edges. I use baking paper to transfer the lahmacun since I'm not quite as skilled as the bakers who do it by hand. I cook it on a large griddle with a lid over it, but you can also bake it in the oven in the highest setting. The recipe and the both baking methods give you a result that's surprisingly close to what you would get from a lahmacun shop, especially for a homemade version. My friends, if you enjoy my video, please don't forget to give thumbs up and leave your comments. Support my channel so others can see and we can continue to share more content. Thank you. If you have ever been to a village market in Turkey, you've probably seen a woman sitting cross-legged behind a low wooden table, rolling out dough faster than you can blink. That's gözleme. One of the most beloved street food, especially in local markets and roadside tea houses. It's a simple flatbread filled with spinach, potatoes, cheese, or minced meat filling. But it always tastes like comfort. On one of my trips to the Middle Black Sea region, Kastamonu, I came across women making gözleme in their traditional clothes. The thing caught my eye was to brush the gözleme with butter. They used a handmade brush made with corn husks. Those little touches, they stay with you. Over the years, I've made different gözleme fillings on the channel, from classic potato and spinach to minced meat. But one of my favorites is actually a vegan version. A rich eggplant filling that tastes so satisfying people can't believe there is no meat in it. If you are after a more traditional version like the minced meat filled etli ekmek, I also filmed a beautiful episode in a village in Kastamonu.
Oluyor mu? Olacak lezzet. Rüzgarı ezerden yürüz, ezerden yaparız bak. Ana kendi gibi kıvıra koyuldu, sonra bak içeriye gevredi.
Even though it wasn't my first time, I have to say she was definitely better than me. ÇİİKÖFTE is a regional specialty from southeastern Anatolia, especially the city of Urfa. Traditionally, it was made with raw meat, fine bulgur, and bold spices, and served as an appetizer or meze. Today, the modern version, especially the one sold in shops or made at home, is completely meat-free, fully vegan, and still packed with flavor. It's become one of the most popular and affordable street foods in Turkey, spicy, fresh, and always satisfying. In my recipe, we get the blessing of the food processor to do the hard work. I add fine bulgur wheat, oil, water, tomato and pepper paste, spices like pul biber and isot, then blend everything until it turns into a soft, spicy mixture. I'm gonna write down. I highly recommend trying this recipe if you haven't yet, especially if you are vegan or vegetarian. There is something timeless about Istanbul's Istiklal Street. The tram bells, the crowds, the scent of roasted meat drifting through the air. Just at the beginning of the avenue, you'll always find döner vendors carving perfectly golden layers, wrapping them up in bread as fast as the line moves. It's one of Turkey's most iconic street foods, but it's surprisingly easy to recreate at home, and without using rotisserie. I use chicken and a simple marinade to bring out that same juicy, spiced flavor. I mix yogurt, tomato paste, onion juice, olive oil, and spices like paprika, thyme, cumin, and black pepper, then rub it into thinly sliced chicken pieces. To get the döner style texture, I form it into a log, freeze it, and later slice it thin, just like the layers you'd see on the streets. Then I cook it in a hot pan until it's crisp at the edges but still juicy inside. You can even make your own soft puffed up tombik bread to serve it the classic way. No need for a rotisserie, just bold flavors, a hot pan, and a little prep. You'll be surprised how close it tastes to the real thing. Let's finish this episode with one of the most fun and customizable street foods in Turkey, kumpir. Normally, it's a giant baked potato split open and mashed with butter and cheese, then piled with toppings. But I'm showing you an easier version made right in a baking dish and perfect for sharing. Think about a bit bigger than medium-sized potatoes for each person. I just cut them into 4 after peeling. I have enough water on my pan, added some salt. The water doesn't need to be covered all the way, and cook until the potatoes are soft. In another pan, I cooked diced carrots and green peas together in lightly salted water. In kumpir shops, one of the toppings is usually a potato salad mixed with pickles and mayonnaise. But since our base is already mashed potato, I'm just using the peas and carrots as a simple topping instead. In no time, my potatoes are cooked since we peeled and cut them. I drained the excess water, added some butter, about 2 tablespoons, and then mashed them. Add enough salt to taste and a little bit milk and mash them again. We are not making a potato puree, just getting the texture of the kumpir after it is baked and then split open, and they just mash inside the potato, add some butter and cheese. Here I'm adding melting kaşar cheese. You can use mozzarella as much as you want. Next, I'm gonna slice some green peppers, cut a sucuk piece into cubes, and slice my sausages. I cook the peppers first, just until they soften. Then add the meats and saute everything briefly, just enough to bring out the flavor. They will finish cooking in the oven, so no need to overdo it here. I'm using an earthenware pot that fits right into my air fryer, but feel free to use any oven-safe deep dish or baking pan. Just make sure the size fits the amount of kumpir you're making. You want it to be full and nicely layered, not too spread out. Now it's time to assemble. First, I layered the cooked peas and carrots, then the sauteed green peppers and meats, and finally some cooked kernels. I baked the kumpir for about 10 minutes at 180 Celsius degree, then sprinkled shredded cheese on top and baked it for another 6 to 8 minutes, just until the cheese melted and started to get those nice golden spots. To finish it off, I topped it with diced pickles and pickled cabbage that I made at home, and I have that recipe too. Then drizzled a generous amount of mayonnaise and ketchup. I even added another layer of sausage and some of the leftover garniture mix, and of course one last squeeze of mayo on top. And that's it, street style kumpir made the easy way at home. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. Let me know in the comments which dish you would like to try first, or if you had any of these on the streets of Turkey before. Don't forget to check the video description for the full recipes and extra tips. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and feel free to subscribe for more Turkish food and culture from my kitchen to yours. See you next time.